All right, we're here with Savannah Shroyer. She's a 10th grade football player at Great Falls High School. Um, to my knowledge, there's never been a girl that played high school football in Chester before. There have been some in the state. There was a girl at McBee a couple of years ago, I remember, and I remember one at Newberry, I think, that actually started some games. But you've told me that you don't really see yourself as like a trailblazer. That's not why you're doing this, right?
No, I just really wanted to play football, actually. So I didn't want to be the first. I just really wanted to get out there and play the sport.
Okay, so you're in 10th grade. You say that you have grown up a football fan. I mean, you've enjoyed watching the sport. And you have a brother that plays.
Yeah.
With whom you are teammates this year. What was his reaction when you told him that you were going to try out for football at Great Falls this year?
Yeah, he was really happy. He was really supportive. And really, if he wasn't out here, I probably wouldn't be. So I'm really thankful for him.
Now, you're used to competing. You're an athlete. You play softball and basketball at Great Falls already. You said it was something fun. It's something you enjoyed. But what made you really finally decide I'm gonna give this a try?
Well, I really just wanted to prove everybody wrong that said I couldn't do it. And I really loved the sport ever since I was little. I mean, I've never played, but I've always really wanted to. I just needed to get over my fears and go out for the team.
And there are no like family football games out in the yard at Thanksgiving or any of that stuff you said?
No.
So you didn't necessarily grow up competing with your brother in this sport, right? Now, have y'all had the opportunity to line up across from each other yet in practice or anything?
No, and I don't think I want to. He's a lot bigger than me.
When we get to the end of this year, what will you consider a good year for yourself?
I really just want to grow as a player, mostly, and get to know the sport a little more, and just get better and play next year, I guess.
There is obviously a lot to learn when you're picking up a new sport. What's been the hardest adjustment for you so far?
The hardest is just asking questions, really, because you go out there and you're surrounded by a whole bunch of boys who know what they're doing. And it's really scary because you don't know what you're doing. So just asking questions has to be the hardest part, I guess.
What's the adjustment been like in terms of being in a weight room and things like that?
Well, it's not that difficult because I've done weightlifting before, like before school and stuff, so it wasn't that much of a change, just with a lot more boys in the room. And other than that, I think the boys have all been really supportive, haven't really given me that hard of a time, so that's made it a lot easier.
You actually did get in for a couple of plays in Great Falls' scrimmage this past weekend. When you stepped on the field, I mean, you've been on a practice field, but when you stepped onto a field in a game-like situation against somebody in a different colored jersey for the very first time, what was that feeling like?
It was scary. I'm not even gonna lie, it was really scary. I was really nervous at first, but then I got out there and I did what I was supposed to do, and it was really fun.
And then just as far as comparing this to the other sports you do, I mean, you compete in basketball, which is a tough physical sport, and you compete in softball, same. How different has football been?
It's not that different. It's a little more athletic and a little more challenging, especially not knowing what you're doing. But overall, I feel like it's about the same as other sports. It's like the same morals, like you have to be respectful, you have to do the right thing, and that's basically it. Yeah.
All right, we're here with Great Falls lineman Colton Shroyer. Now you're a part of a big group of very big guys that Great Falls is blessed with this year up front. But now who's that little wide receiver that I hear you're kin to?
My little sister, Savannah Shroyer, number 24.
Kind of tell the story about how this came to be. This is something that she's actually talked about for a while, right?
Yes, sir. Since we were little kids, we were always competitive about every little thing. And we'd always call her Chicken because she always talked about she wanted to play football, but she never really stood up and did it. But this year she decided this was her time to step it up and start playing.
When she told you, I guess that's how you found out, that she was actually going to be a member of the Great Falls Red Devil football team this year, what was your reaction?
I was half surprised, but also half expecting it, just because she seemed a lot more serious about it this year instead of just yammering on about it. But when she said she was going to be playing, I knew it'd be another teammate just to pat on the back when we were going on and off the field. So more the merrier.
I've asked several people, including the South Carolina High School League, to their knowledge, we have had a few girls play high school football in South Carolina. That's not terribly unusual. But as far as anybody knows, you two are the first brother-sister football teammates in this state, and I've only been able to find a few instances of it anywhere in the country. So as you hear that, how does that make you feel?
It's pretty surprising, but I'd think there'd be more, but of course, if it's rarer than it seems, then might as well be the first, I suppose.
When you guys are on the field, is that your sister or is that a teammate?
Bit of both. I'll pat her on the back same as any, but on and off the field might ask her a bit more if she's okay and how she's doing than probably my other teammates.
When you guys go home after practice, after games, after school or whatever, do you guys talk about football?
Yeah, we talk about how each other did at practice. We've probably gotten quite attuned to grading each other's performance. And I'll give her pointers, and if she has anything to mention, then she'll give me pointers. But beyond that, it's pretty healthy between us when it comes to talking about football when we're off the field.
You guys had a scrimmage here pretty recently, and you obviously got a lot of playing time, but she actually got in for a handful of plays. When you first saw your sister jog out on the field, and I guess she plays some tight end and receiver, but when she first jogged out there, what did you think?
I wasn't surprised, since all of our coaches have taken a liking to her as a player. And as I saw her jogging off, heard the crowd roaring for her, and I was a bit surprised, but of course I was joining in, trying to be the loudest of the bunch.
Okay, now she's a sophomore, you're a senior, so after this year you'll either be in college or you'll be working or whatever your plans are for after you graduate. Do you think that you will be coming back here next year as a Great Falls graduate to root on your sister for her second and then I guess maybe later a third year of football?
Most definitely. I'll be here every game I can make it to, and I'll be there with my mom and dad cheering her on.